our departmental budget presentations for Thursday, May the 30th. The first department that we have before us is the Circuit Court Clerk, Mr. Ricky Rooker. And with him today is Ms. Michelle Sawyer, and she's the Administrative Services Manager. Before you begin your presentation, Mr. Rooker, I do want to ask if you're satisfied with the mayor's proposal for your department.
Yes, sir. We are satisfied with the mayor's proposed budget for our department.
All right. You may go ahead and continue with your presentation.
Well, thank you once again, ladies and gentlemen. It's nice to be here with you this afternoon, and we're doing well. The clerk's office has had a good year this year. Things seem to be functioning and going very well for us. We have made some improvements and done some good things over the year, and we are here just to answer any. Like I say, we are satisfied with the mayor's proposed budget. We can live within that budget, and here to answer any questions that you may have today.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Rooker. Councilman Tiger.
Thank you and welcome. Couple of quick questions. Revenue projections on E22, $5 million last year, $3.5 million this year.
Yes, sir. Councilman, most of that money is contributed to the loss of workman compensation cases that we will have next year. We had a lot of cases filed within the circuit court. Starting next July, workman's compensation cases will no longer come through the court system. They'll be an administrative function of the Department of Labor, and that's going to probably cost us around $650,000 total a year for those cases to be out of the court system. So for another year, we probably won't feel it that much, but we're trying to prepare for that loss of income.
That $650,000 that you talk about, that's not profit to your office. That's
total to the county. So that would be the profit to our office it's probably going to be about $500,000 for our office. Yes, sir.
And so this new panel that's going to decide these cases, where does that revenue go?
That will go, if there is revenue, it'll probably go to the state. I'm not sure I'm not even sure if any of that's been worked out yet about the filing fees for those matters. But when they come out of the court system, they will no longer have that caseload. Therefore, we won't have the revenue from those cases.
So how many personnel will be affected in your office with this decreased workload?
As time goes on, we will probably be able to eliminate at least 2 or 3 full-time employees with that decrease of caseload.
Who pushed this legislation?
I believe this came from the governor's office. This legislation came from the governor's office.
Interesting. Under your accomplishments, you talk about a collection agency utilized for old outstanding judgments. What percentage of your workload is these old judgments?
Most of the old cases are old traffic tickets that we just exhausted every effort that we have to try to collect them. And they could be tickets, they have a lifespan of 10 years. So after 6 months, we have the ability to turn them over to the collection agency. We do not do that often. We still have warrant officers who issue executions and garnishments and try to collect those fees. But after a while, as we turn them over to the collection agency, they've done a pretty good job for us. We started that last June, and as of April of this year, they've collected $64,125 of old fines that we could not collect. So I think we'll see that grow as time goes on.
What tools in their belt do they have to collect these past fees that you may not have?
They can put that on a credit report, where we cannot put it on a credit report.
Really?
So, yes, sir. So the only thing we can do is levy on a bank account that we know they have, or
right,
garnish wages.
So you all are on equal footing in that?
Equal footing in that category, but the collection agency can put it on a credit report.
Okay. And final question, new avenues to increase collection of fees. What are we talking about? That's under one of your strategic issues on E23.
Basically, the collection agency, taking credit card payments, anything that we can do to collect the fines and the fees up front. We are already taking credit cards either by phone and online in the traffic bureau. We're now going to expand that to our other offices. So if someone has court costs they need to pay or something in the office that needs to be paid, they can do that by credit card. We're just looking at any advances we can make to make up for that loss of revenue in the work comp area.
Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Tiger. Councilor Moore.
Thank you, Chair, and also, Mr. Rooker, thank you for all that you do. I love to hear when you say you're doing well, and that's good news for us to hear, well, for me anyway. I'm going to go on the same page as Councilman Tiger, E23. I'm always interested in anything about mental health, and could you just explain that, you know, when you're talking about one of your goals to reduce the travel of judges and court clerks to the facility, what does that mean?
Well, as of right now, we have 2 dockets a week in General Sessions Court, the emergency committal dockets. Those dockets are held at Middle Tennessee Mental Health Institute. Oh, okay. So we have to transport the files. The clerk has to go out there. The judge has to go out there twice a week to have those hearings. Hopefully in the future, we're going to try to do that by video conference. So that will keep us from having to have an extra Metro car, the wear and tear on the vehicle, and just going back and forth to the hospital when those things can be accomplished by video conference. So we're working closely with the General Sessions judges to try to get that hopefully within this next year. And it also will make the proceedings easier on the patient, the doctors, and everyone involved.
Thank you so much.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Councilor Moore. Councilman Pridemore.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Rooker, I have a couple questions.
Yes, sir.
Is today your birthday?
Yes, sir. Today is my birthday.
And today is your anniversary. Okay, that's us, yeah.
The peanut gallery.
That didn't pick up momentum, I noticed. It is my birthday, and yes, sir, it is also my anniversary.
Well, happy.
Yeah, that's right, so I can remember, the anniversary more importantly than the
That's the one you need to remember.
Absolutely. Thank you,
Thanks,
sir.
Councilman Pridemore. Councilman Tiger.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I did have a couple more questions concerning internal service fees. Decrease in ITS, but a significant increase in BOSS and significant increase in postal. What is the reason for those increases?
Councilman, I don't have any idea how those numbers are calculated.
Do you have more office footage anywhere, or is it?
No, sir. No, we don't have any more office footage. We just go with the numbers that are given us on internal service fees. I'm not sure how they're calculated or how that works.
Okay, and no huge increase in postal in mailings due to some other requirement?
No, sir. Just our regular notices that we have to send out by law, but nothing under the ordinance.
Do you send out any notices email?
We do not. We're hoping to have some legislation passed that will allow us to do a lot of that by email. It would save us a lot of money. But as of right now, the law says that it has to be done either by registered mail or through the Postal Service. So hopefully, as time goes on, we'll be able to have that done through email. And another issue that we have is just having to keep a file. All of our files are scanned, all of our things are kept electronically, but the law says we have to keep them indefinitely. So we have to house them in warehouses, and because in circuit and probate courts, those records are kept forever.
Okay, I'll go visit my good friends Talia and her band of whatever they're called next door and ask those questions. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Councilman Tiger. Councilman Claiborne.
Thank you. I wasn't going to ask a question, but I wanted to follow up on the question that Charlie asked. And Rich, I don't know if you can answer the question. He said that he has no idea what the basis for the internal service fees that he gets are. So are these fees just levied with no explanation? Is there no, even when my credit card statement comes in, if there's a charge on there, I at least have the ability to question that if I so desire.
I'm sure that they have questions about it. We'll answer their questions. There's a basis. You have a total cost of operations, and you have to divide that up by square footage in the building area or the usage by postage. I don't know the specifics of Mr. Rooker's situation, but happy to look into it. But they are not made-up numbers. They're real numbers based on real costs.
Well, I'm not disputing that, but I'm just saying if he has a significant increase in postage and he hadn't done anything to really generate more mail going out, it looks like that on the front end, when he's assessed with this to put into his budget, somebody would provide him with an explanation or at least give him the ability to question. Did you have the chance to do that?
Well, Councilman, I mean, as far as internal service fees are concerned, well, I understand the structure by which it operates. I mean, it's your square footage, it's your, you know, the energy, all of those things. I don't know, I'm not familiar with the formula by which those numbers are calculated. Internal service fees are always just put in our budget and taken back out of our budget. So I guess if I'd have called and asked, you know, what the difference is in this particular area, I might have gotten an answer. We did not do that because it's just...
You just accepted it?
Yes, sir. We just kind of accepted it. And
if you got a charge on your credit card that you didn't understand, would you accept that?
Oh, no, sir, I would not. But as that is being placed into our budget by finance and taken out of our budget by finance, you know, not understanding how it's calculated, it's just not a normal question that we would ask.
Right. Well, I just think accountability goes both ways.
Sure.
Not only to you, but from you back.
Yes,
so, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Councilman Claiborne. And seeing no other council members in queue, Mr. Rooker, I would like to wish you a happy birthday and happy anniversary, and your hearing is concluded.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having us.
Thank you. Next, we'll have the juvenile court clerk.